Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today with one of my favorite business people in all of Woodbridge Township. In fact, one of the longest running business people in Woodbridge Township, Mr. Paul Sansone from Sansone's Route 1 Auto Mall. And I'm joined by Chief of Staff and Head of Redevelopment and former council person and good friend of Mr. Paul Sansone's, Carolyn Ehrlich. So we have had this Have a Heart food drive for quite a while in the township, going back to the 90s. I wish Peter Barcelona could be with us here today, but he's committed elsewhere. He is the head of our We Feed program, as you know Peter very well, Paul. And we prioritized food during the pandemic. We kind of recognized that that would be the one issue that we'd have to worry about. You know, the medicine, the vaccines, that's all kind of outside of our purview, and that's handled by people at the state level. But locally, we knew that food would be an issue. And it turned out to be exactly that. We were normally serving about 600 families before the pandemic started with food from each of our 11 different food pantries. We went up to 1,400, so that's more than double the demand. So that created a real issue for us. We started all kinds of different other efforts. And then today, we have this donation from Sansone's Route 1 Auto Mall that's just outrageous. I can't believe when I saw the check 2 minutes ago, I did double take. I could not believe how much Paul Sansone is donating to this cause. But he's always done that. In fact, the idea behind our summer concert food drives was Paul's. Paul said, why don't we do something? This is back, I don't know, not too long after we started it. Paul said, why don't we do a food drive for the summer, which makes a lot of sense because there's no school, there's no holidays, people kind of forget, there's vacations. So Paul said, why don't we have, if I donate something to you like a TV or something, why don't you have people bring a box or can of food and get a ticket and raffle it off. We raise 40 to 60,000 pounds of food every summer, thanks to Paul's idea way back when. It's been ridiculously good, but nothing surpasses this Have a Heart food drive check for $48,000. Now we didn't miss a zero. I mean, it's not 4,800. That's the first thing I thought of. Something's wrong here. I've talked enough. You're giving us $48,000 toward the food drive. I know you know what this means. I know your commitment to the We Feed Woodbridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to help our Woodbridge Township. I love the town. I love the municipality and the people that work in it. I feel that people in need a little help, and in any way that I can, I will help in food banks and other things within the town. And I'm here 61 years in Woodbridge in business, and there's nothing more pleasurable than to say that statement. And that's because of the quality of the people that keep buying from us, and I can't help but try to help in any way possible, whether it's opioid, whether it's military, whether it's food bank. And the food bank is so important. You don't realize until you see it yourself that there's a need for food. And it just doesn't seem logical, and in America, that people have to have a need for food. Anyway, I want to thank the township. I want to thank all the people that work in the township, and obviously our mayor, that he gives me the privilege of helping in any way I can. Thank you.
So I'm 63 years old. I moved here when I was 2, so I also came to Woodbridge 61 years ago. You've been in business 61 years in Woodbridge. Tell me, do a quick commercial. How many brands are you up to? How many different buildings do you have there?
Well,
probably too many for you to remember.
No, we have 11 buildings, and we have 8 franchises. We had more at one time, but I'm getting a little older now, so I've been selling some off. But the fact of it is, in Woodbridge, in our auto mall, we have 10. I'm questioning that, but we have 10 franchises, and we have about 375 to 400 people working there.
Oh.
And thank God we have many people with me retiring from me, 30 years, 25 years. In fact, we have the 25-year club, which I take them all out, but then anyone that's with us
Nice.
for 25 years, we throw a big party for them every year at a big luncheon at one of the local restaurants. And I can only tell you, it's a pleasure to deal with the people that I have, and we treat them right. They do what they're supposed to do, and I think I'm a pretty good leader.
Paul, when you talk about how many employees you have, I know a good many of them are veterans or part of McGreevy's program, people getting released from prison.
Oh.
And that's, training people. And you told me the last time we were together about one employee that worked their way up from just, doing the low-level stuff, and now they're all the way up on the pay scale and doing great things. So that's a wonderful opportunity.
That's
to meet
one
people.
success story of all of them. Actually, we placed about 180 people that we've trained through where they were incarcerated for whatever reason, and I think mostly drugs, and they went through our program. And I have about 20 now working for me, and the rest we place through different dealerships throughout the state of New Jersey, because not everyone lives in Woodbridge. So, but they become wonderful citizens, and the one that was referred to is a woman, African American, who started with zero, and she now is earning approximately $150,000 a year, and she's one of our top people.
So that's also military people too. You do a lot. You're known for food drives, and you're known for military, and you're known for reentry program. But the military, you're also big into.
Well, the military, the people that were incarcerated were ex-military people.
Okay, so you got both.
Yes, we do both. The military people, it's mainly the people that are incarcerated and that have a desire to better themselves. We do a tremendous screening and interviews and so on. I have several people working for me on just this project alone. And we have dedicated, in fact, I added on to a building, so just as a training center, just for this purpose alone. And it's really benefited me as much as it's benefited them. It's turned out to be a tremendous success factor, and I just want to say I couldn't be happier. And I just feel throughout my life I've done well, and I just want to be able to give a check to as much as we can. What's left after we give everything else out, women's wear and all the Salvation Army and so many things. But I'm happy that I'm here and able to do it, and will continue to do it, because I believe in it. I believe that people need help, and that's what I'm here for if I can.
Well, you're happy, we're thrilled. I mean, this is just tremendous. You just listed a whole bunch of things that you do, and each one really impacts people's lives in Woodbridge Township. That's what we're all about, quality of life. I can't tell you how much this check means. We do drives, and we get the non-perishables, But we always have to buy, you know, the dairy, the food, bread, the milk. There's people with special needs, the diets. There's people that, you know, gluten-free, you name it. This money goes toward getting the things that don't get donated. So it's vitally important that we have donations as well as of cash as well as donations of food. So
And
thank you very much.
I understand that you had to buy in the past from Ocean.
Yeah, that's one of our suppliers, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing we'll do with this is we are renting space at the Knights of Columbus in Woodbridge, and we often can't accept deliveries of donations of frozen foods, but we're equipping that with refrigerators and freezers, and it's right on the corner there, so that if somebody calls up and says, I have meat, I have cheese, I have you know, frozen foods, can you take them? Now we can say yes, because this helps us buy the equipment we need to be able to put those items, you know, in storage for future delivery. So the money is vitally important to us, just as the food donations are. So thank you very much, my
You
friend.
can always count on me.
We do, I know, we absolutely do. All right, thank you again. And one more time, will you allow me to say, you the man, Mr. Sansone, to quote your famous commercials. Thank you very much.
Thank you.